Imagine sitting down to breakfast after 60, cracking open 4 eggs, and wondering whether you are making one of the smartest food choices of your life or one of the riskiest. For years, eggs have been praised, questioned, feared, defended, and judged from every angle. Some people call them nature's perfect food. Others worry about cholesterol, the heart, and whether eating too many eggs can quietly harm the body over time. But after 60, the conversation changes in an important way. The body is different. The metabolism is different. The muscle mass is different. The appetite is different. The need for concentrated nutrition becomes much greater. And that is why the question is not as simple as, are eggs healthy? The real question is this: what actually happens inside your body when you eat 4 eggs after 60? The answer may surprise you, because for many older adults, 4 eggs can be a surprisingly powerful nutritional package. Eggs deliver high-quality protein in a form the body can use efficiently. They contain essential amino acids that help repair tissues, maintain muscle, and support strength. They provide choline, a nutrient that plays an important role in brain function, liver health, and cell membranes. They also contain vitamin B12, which becomes especially important as we age because B12 absorption can become less efficient over time. Eggs offer selenium, a mineral involved in antioxidant defense. They contain vitamin D in modest amounts, along with other nutrients that support the body in subtle but meaningful ways. In a stage of life when nutritional gaps become more common, eggs can fill some of those gaps with remarkable efficiency. But let us slow down for a moment and understand why this matters so much after 60. One of the biggest changes with aging is the gradual loss of muscle, a process often called sarcopenia. This does not happen overnight. It happens slowly, quietly, and often without much notice until a person begins to feel weaker, moves more slowly, struggles to rise from a chair, or finds daily tasks a little harder than before. Muscle is not only about strength. Muscle also supports balance, mobility, independence, metabolism, and resilience. When muscle begins to shrink, the risks increase in many directions. That is why protein becomes so important, and eggs are one of the most accessible, affordable, and easy-to-prepare sources of complete protein available. When you eat 4 eggs, your body gets a meaningful dose of protein in one sitting. For many older adults, this may help stimulate muscle protein synthesis, especially when the eggs are part of a breakfast that actually gets eaten consistently. This is one of the big hidden problems after 60. It is not always that people lack good intentions. It is that they no longer eat enough protein at the right time, or they skip meals, or they rely on foods that are filling but not very nourishing. 4 eggs can help solve that problem quickly. They are simple, fast, and versatile. They can be boiled, poached, scrambled, or made into an omelet with vegetables. They can anchor a meal that gives the body a stronger signal to maintain muscle rather than break it down. And yet, there is another side to the story, because 4 eggs is not a trivial amount. For many people, that is a substantial serving. That means the effect depends on the whole health picture. If a person is generally healthy, physically active, not overdoing saturated fats, and eating a balanced diet rich in vegetables, legumes, whole grains, fruits, nuts, and healthy oils, then 4 eggs may fit well into their routine. But if a person has insulin resistance, poorly controlled diabetes, elevated LDL cholesterol, or a strong family history of heart disease, the conversation becomes more personal. Not because eggs are automatically dangerous, but because every body handles nutrients a little differently. The same food can be supportive in one context and less ideal in another. Now let us talk about what many people worry about first: cholesterol. Eggs contain cholesterol, especially in the yolk. That much is true. For years, this led many people to assume that eating eggs automatically raises blood cholesterol and therefore increases heart risk. But nutrition science has become much more nuanced. The body does not respond to dietary cholesterol in exactly the same way in every person. In many healthy individuals, the liver adjusts by making less cholesterol when more is eaten. In some people, blood LDL changes very little. In others, the response is stronger. That is why sweeping statements about eggs do not work well. A person's response depends on genetics, overall diet, inflammation, body weight, insulin sensitivity, and how eggs are prepared. What also matters is what people eat with the eggs. 4 eggs served with bacon, butter, sausage, white toast, and sugary coffee is not the same as 4 eggs served with spinach, tomatoes, mushrooms, avocado, and a side of berries. The eggs may be the same, but the metabolic effect is not the same. The surrounding meal shapes the outcome. This is one reason nutrition is never just about a single food. It is about patterns. The body does not live on isolated nutrients. It lives on daily habits. If 4 eggs are part of a breakfast that is rich in fiber and color, the body often benefits more. Fiber helps slow glucose absorption, supports the gut microbiome, and improves fullness. Vegetables bring phytonutrients that help reduce oxidative stress. Healthy fats can help with satiety and provide long-lasting energy. When eggs are combined thoughtfully, they can become part of a meal that supports stable blood sugar and a better appetite rhythm through the day. That matters after 60 because many people experience late morning hunger crashes, energy dips, or the urge to snack too soon after breakfast. A more balanced breakfast can smooth that out. There is also the issue of how eggs affect satiety. One of the practical challenges in older age is maintaining enough nutrition without overeating empty calories. People may feel less hungry, yet still need more nutrients. Eggs are dense in nutrition without requiring a huge volume of food. That makes them especially useful for older adults who have smaller appetites. 4 eggs can deliver a lot of useful material in a relatively small meal. This can make it easier to meet protein needs without forcing large portions. But we should also be honest about something important. 4 eggs every day is not automatically the best choice for everyone. There is no universal food that is perfect in unlimited amounts. Even healthy foods need context. 4 eggs can be fine for one person and too much for another, depending on the rest of the diet. For example, if someone already eats a lot of animal fat, processed meat, and low-fiber foods, adding 4 eggs may increase the overall burden on cardiovascular health. On the other hand, if someone eats mostly plant-based foods with a few eggs as a reliable protein source, the effect can be very different. The question is not just the eggs, it is the total pattern. Let us go deeper into the nutrient profile because this is where eggs really shine. The yolk is especially important. That is where you find choline, lutein, and zeaxanthin. Choline is often overlooked, yet it is essential for brain health and liver function. As we age, the brain becomes more vulnerable to nutrient gaps, and choline helps support memory-related processes and structural integrity of cells. Lutein and zeaxanthin are carotenoids that support eye health. They are well known for their role in the retina, where they may help protect against age-related vision decline. This is a major benefit for older adults, since vision changes can affect independence, driving, reading, and quality of life. The same food that people fear for cholesterol is often the food that carries these hidden advantages. Eggs also provide high biological value protein. That means the body can make efficient use of the amino acids they contain. After 60, this matters more than ever. Aging muscles often need a stronger protein signal to respond. Younger bodies can sometimes get by on less optimal patterns for longer. Older bodies are less forgiving. They need better timing, better quality, and often slightly higher total intake. That is why eggs are often recommended in practical nutrition discussions for older adults. They are not fancy, they're not expensive compared with many other protein foods. They are easy to digest for many people, and they are quick enough to become a real habit instead of a good intention. Still, we should not romanticize them. 4 eggs alone do not create a healthy body. If someone eats 4 eggs and then spends the rest of the day sitting, under-eating vegetables, neglecting hydration, and consuming refined snacks, the eggs will not rescue the situation. Nutrition works with movement, sleep, stress, and overall lifestyle. Muscle is maintained not by protein alone, but by protein plus use. The body wants a reason to keep muscle tissue. Resistance exercise, walking, climbing stairs, and staying active send that signal. Eggs provide the raw material, but movement tells the body what to do with it. That is a critical partnership. Now let us address the concern many people never say out loud. Can 4 eggs after 60 raise the risk of heart problems? The honest answer is that it can depend. For some people, especially those who are metabolically healthy, eggs may not meaningfully worsen cholesterol markers. For others, especially those who are hyper-responders or who already have elevated LDL, the effect may be more noticeable. That is why personal testing and medical guidance can be useful. A person may eat eggs and check their blood lipids before and after a period of consistent intake to see how their body responds. Nutrition is much more useful when it is personalized rather than ideological. There is also a difference between eating 4 eggs in one meal occasionally and eating 4 eggs every single day for years without considering the rest of the diet. Repetition matters. So does variety. The body benefits from nutrient diversity. Even the healthiest food can become less ideal when it crowds out other beneficial foods. If eggs replace a meal rich in plants, fiber, and micronutrient variety, the overall picture may be less favorable. But if eggs are one part of a broad and balanced way of eating, they can absolutely support healthy aging. Another important point is digestion. Some older adults notice that certain heavy meals leave them sluggish, bloated, or uncomfortable. Eggs are usually easier to digest than many breakfast meats or heavily processed foods. That makes them an attractive option. Yet preparation matters. Fried eggs cooked in a lot of butter or oil may feel heavier than boiled or poached eggs. Scrambled eggs made with cream and cheese can be much richer than eggs cooked with a little olive oil and vegetables. The same ingredient can support health or stress digestion depending on how it is handled. This is why kitchen habits matter just as much as food choices. 4 eggs can also influence energy levels in a positive way. Protein supports stable energy by slowing digestion compared with a meal made mostly of refined carbohydrates. That can reduce the blood sugar spikes and crashes that leave some people tired, irritable, or hungry again too soon. For an older adult who wants to stay mentally clear and physically steady through the morning, that stability can be valuable. But once again, the broader meal matters. Eggs paired with highly processed bread and sweet beverages will not have the same metabolic effect as eggs paired with vegetables and fiber-rich foods. Let us think about the brain for a moment. The aging brain benefits from nutrients that support cell membranes, neurotransmitters, and blood flow. Choline from eggs contributes to the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory and learning. While no food can prevent cognitive decline on its own, egg nutrients can be part of a larger brain-supportive pattern. And because 4 eggs provide a concentrated nutrient dose, they may be especially useful for older adults who struggle to eat enough variety or enough total calories. Then there is the eye. Age-related vision changes can be subtle at first, then gradually more noticeable. The carotenoids in eggs, especially in the yolk, are valuable here. Many people assume the white of the egg contains most of the value because it is pure protein, but that would miss the point. The yolk carries a large share of the most interesting protective compounds. This is one reason throwing away yolks can sometimes mean throwing away some of the best parts of the egg. Of course, that does not mean everyone should eat unlimited yolks. It means the yolk deserves respect for what it offers. Some people also worry that eating 4 eggs might cause inflammation. In most healthy people, eggs are not broadly inflammatory on their own. But again, the context matters. If the eggs are part of a pattern high in ultra-processed food, sugary drinks, and low fiber, the whole inflammatory environment of the body may be worse. If they are part of a balanced, nutrient-dense meal, they may fit quite well. We should not blame the egg for a diet that is already out of balance. What about weight? Many older adults are not trying to lose weight aggressively. Some are trying to maintain strength, avoid muscle loss, and keep enough energy. Eggs can help because they are filling and protein-rich. That fullness can reduce mindless snacking. But for someone who needs to watch calories or cholesterol carefully, 4 eggs might be too much on a regular basis. Again, the body's context determines the answer. The smartest nutrition advice is not rigid. It is responsive. If you are over 60 and you enjoy eggs, the smartest way to think about them is as a tool, not a miracle, not a danger, a tool. A tool can be used well or poorly. 4 eggs can support you if they are part of a thoughtful breakfast, balanced by vegetables, paired with exercise, and matched to your medical reality. They can be less helpful if they are layered on top of a poor diet and a sedentary routine. The food itself is only one part of the story. There is also a deeper lesson hidden inside this question. The reason so many people ask about eggs after 60 is because aging makes us more aware of consequences. The body stops forgiving poor habits as easily. What we eat starts to matter more, not less. But instead of fearing food, we should learn to choose with intelligence. Eggs remind us that food can be simple, affordable, and powerful at the same time. They remind us that nutrition does not need to be complicated to be effective. And perhaps that is the most important thing to understand. The goal after 60 is not to eat perfectly. The goal is to eat intelligently, to give the body what it needs to stay strong, clear, stable, and resilient. In that mission, eggs can play a meaningful role. 4 eggs may provide the building blocks your body needs, especially if your appetite is smaller or your need for protein is greater. But they are not a standalone solution. They work best when they are part of a larger lifestyle that protects muscle, supports the heart, nourishes the brain, and keeps the whole body moving. So what actually happens when you eat 4 eggs after 60? For many people, the body gets a strong supply of complete protein, key vitamins, and brain-supportive nutrients. Hunger may stay under better control. Muscle maintenance may be supported. Energy may feel more stable. The meal may become more satisfying and practical. But for some people, especially those with heart disease risk or abnormal cholesterol response, 4 eggs may need to be approached more carefully. The answer is not fear. The answer is awareness. The body deserves that kind of respect. And if you take only one idea from this entire message, let it be this. After 60, food is no longer just about filling the stomach. It is about protecting strength, preserving independence, and feeding the systems that help you live well. Eggs can help with that. 4 eggs can be a smart choice for many people, but the smartest choice is always the one matched to your body, your goals, and your overall way of living. Because in the end, healthy aging is not built on one superfood or one warning. It is built on patterns. Patterns of eating, patterns of movement, patterns of rest, and patterns of consistency. Eggs may be one small part of that picture, but for many older adults, they are a very useful part. Simple, affordable, nutrient-dense, familiar, and when used wisely, surprisingly powerful. So the next time you hear someone ask whether eating 4 eggs after 60 is good or bad, remember this. The body does not speak in absolutes. It speaks in responses. And the real response depends on the whole picture. For one person, 4 eggs may be a smart way to support strength and health. For another, it may be too much without adjustment. That is why the best nutrition advice is not loud. It is precise. It looks at the individual, the pattern, and the long game.